let me first welcome. Oh, yeah, you got to say got it.
Got it.
You got to say it's
Got
okay. All right, everybody's okay with recording. I want to welcome you to Artful Prayer. We have some folks that haven't been with us while we're actually online. So this is where we sort of creatively think about prayer in new ways. As a reminder, if you didn't know, you need at least 3 pieces of paper and either colored pencils or markers or crayons. So if you don't have those, you should go ahead and get those right now and bring them back to your desk while I'm doing the introductions. So this is going to be a fun session, I think. Lindsay Huddleston and I are leading it together. We're going to do lots of fun things. We both attend church services at First Congregational UCC in Sarasota, though Lindsay's up north right now, and I'm in Sarasota. My name's Cindy Woodling. I'm a retired U.S. Army nurse, so happy Veterans Day to anybody who watches this on Veterans Day. After retirement, I completed a certificate training in art and healing through Ringling College of Art and Design here in Sarasota. Lindsay Huddleston has a master's degree in dance and religion from Wesleyan University in Connecticut, yay, Connecticut, and has been offering dance as prayer, story, and celebration in worship services since 1969. So she knows a little bit about what she's doing. Before we get started on the actual session, I would ask all of you to go ahead and mute your own voices, unless you have a question right now. If there are no questions, we'll start. But that way, when we're doing it, we won't be sort of interfering with each other if dogs bark or whatever. And since I have a dog, that would be my fault. All right. So our process today is called praying hands. I'm going to provide just a little context before we go into it. I'd like to share something I learned in the Celebration of Discipline reading group, and there are a couple folks online that are in that group with me. It's a book written by Richard Foster, and it's been around for some years now. But in the book, he briefly talks about a traditional centering down prayer method that he calls palms down, palms up. And that's kind of provided some inspiration to both Lindsay and I for this session. Foster explains that you begin by placing your palms down as a symbolic indication of your desire to turn over any of your concerns to God, including fears, anxieties, frustrations, even anger. I know a lot of us carry anger right now. Then the second part is palms up. That's releasing it. After several moments of surrender, you have your palms up as a symbol of your desire to receive from God, receiving love, patience, peace, perhaps joy. So palms down, palms up. We'll focus quite specifically today on prayer and your individual prayers that you will be saying silently. So we'll also be experiencing silence, which is one of those disciplines that Richard Foster talks about too. But we're going to explore some creative ways to use your hands during prayer. We're going to be doing 3 short prayers. And each prayer, there's going to be some movement, some prayer, and then there are going to be some quick drawings or writings that we're going to do afterwards, so that we really get all the creative parts of our brain going. So again, you'll need 3 pieces of paper, markers, crayons or colored pencils. If you don't have that, just use your pen and we'll be all set to go. All right.
Okay, well, thanks for the introduction, Cindy. When we think of a prayer gesture, the one we're probably most familiar with is the palms together in stillness with our head bowed. That there's all kinds of art showing that, and we probably grew up with that. So do this gesture with me to begin. It probably feels very familiar. Today, we're going to explore multiple gestures for a variety of prayers. we're going to expand our gesture vocabulary to enrich our prayer life. So we're going to begin expressing anger and fear. And I want to begin there because there is so much anger and fear in our world today. I think we're all touched by it in some way or another. And so I want to encourage us to identify that and include it in our prayer practice. We're going to begin with expressions of anger that we could focus on a situation. I'm sure you can think of one, maybe another person, even God. God can take our anger. I really want to highlight that because we don't all practice that. So today we're going to, I want to begin with a verse from Psalm 22, verse 2, where we read, "My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer." The psalmist is distraught, is angry, is feeling abandoned. And I think we often feel that way in our own lives. So how can we express this deep, intense emotion of anger or despair? By physically experiencing the feeling, we are better able to acknowledge the emotion and bring it to God in prayer. Think of some situation or someone that makes you angry, you personally, because we want to personalize this experience. Get an image of that situation or person in your mind right now to begin. Now we're going to explore gestures of anger. You can try mine or you can create your own. The feeling will be intense. You might begin by making fists. When we're angry, we become combative. You may shake these fists in your imagination of the person that you're angry with. You could even shake these fists at God. God can take it. You might punch with your fists. Try punching. Or find an expression of your own sense of anger. I want you to feel it on a body level because then you are more able to bring it to God for healing and for release. A second intense emotion we want to explore in this section is fear, because that also is intense. And I think we have a lot of fear in our world today. When we are afraid, we close our bodies down, pull your body in, get small. We might cover our faces if we're afraid. We might push away whatever it is that frightens us. Try these gestures or find ones of your own that express your fear. With these thoughts and gestures of anger and fear still in our body memory, we are going to release them to God by praying the palms down prayer that Cindy mentioned in the very beginning. So let's take a few moments, put your hands with your palms down so that this anger and fear and other powerful emotions that you feel may be released to God. Perhaps you might even say, let go, let God silently in your mind. You may want to close your eyes, and we're going to take a few moments in silence. Amen.
Amen. So if you're finished with your prayer, I would invite you to take a really deep breath. Let it out. Maybe do that again. And one more time. Pull out one of your pieces of paper, and in the upper corner of the paper, write releasing concerns. Or if it works better for you, write anger, anxiety, whatever it was you were praying about, but something that will remind you of this prayer you just had. And then I want you to very spontaneously think about the colors you have in your hand, what shapes you might have seen, what images you saw, or even what words came to your mind, and put that on the paper. Just make marks on the paper, draw images if you had images, pick colors that resonate with you, doodles, words, whatever comes to you. We're going to take just a real short time, so don't overthink it. I'm going to give you about 2.5 minutes, and then I'll give you a warning and we'll come back. So whatever comes to you. So take another 1/2 minute, finish any major thoughts you don't have down on your paper. And as you're ready, if you'd look back up, we'll know that you're all ready to come back.
I love this combination of the physical and the visual. It's so expansive for me in terms of expression. And thank you, Cindy, for your collaboration on this. It's so exciting. Okay, well, we don't want to stay in anger and fear, and we've released it to God. So let's now experience our second prayer for the day, which is focused on peace and love and hope. We all need peace, love, and hope. Jesus said in John 16:33, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. It is God's intention for us to have peace. And peace is hard in today's world, certainly. So think of a favorite place for you personally, a special person, a relationship, or a calming activity that gives you a feeling of peace. Take a moment and just imagine for yourself something that is the image of peace. All right, now that we have the image, let's explore gestures of peace, which we could include in our prayer practice. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expand our expressions in prayer. Now, these feelings will be very different, of course, from the anger and the fear gestures. But again, you can either follow me or create your own expressions. So let's get in touch with what gestures represent peace for us. One thing that comes to mind for me is putting my hand in a hand. Can even be this way. Whose hand is your hand in? You might want to pull the hand close to your heart because it is such a beautiful source of love and hope and peace. Peace might be represented by water flowing over you, the love of God splashing up on you and coming down. Feel it on your body, your face. Water is certainly the symbol of life, a symbol of life. What a beautiful symbol of peace. Another gesture that speaks to me is a gesture of a hug. Feel yourself being hugged. It could be a hug from God. It could be a hug from a very special person. Or it can be a hug from yourself. Sometimes we need to give ourselves hope, peace, and love. With these gestures in our body memory, let's now pray silently. Let's use the palms up gesture that Cindy introduced in the beginning, and silently thinking of that image of peace for us. Let us take some quiet time, trusting that God will bless us with peace, hope, and love. Amen.
Amen. So as you come out of your prayer, I'd suggest another couple of good deep breaths. And when you feel like you're up to it, again, pull out another piece of paper. And write in the corner of this paper, receiving from God, or peace, or love, or hope, whatever word resonates with you from this last prayer. Then take your pencils, crayons, or markers again and start doodling on your paper. Any impressions you have received from God during the prayer and movement, anything that came to you that you think is comforting, pick colors that reflect that. Use words if words came to you, or images. And if no impressions come, just doodle something soothing or fun. And we'll do this again for 2.5 minutes. I'll give you a 1/2-minute warning. So you have about 30 seconds to get the last thoughts down. And bring your awareness back from what you're writing and bring it back to the group.
Well, as we lean into the season of Thanksgiving, we just couldn't forget to look at feelings of gratitude, joy, and abundance. A wonderful image is found in Isaiah 55, verse 12. I love this image. You will go out in joy. The mountains and the hills will burst into song before you, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. What a great image. Begin by thinking of what in your life brings you deep gratitude. Bring up some images for you. There's so many things, but bring up something that is very personal to you. What brings you deep gratitude? As you begin to feel this overflowing gratitude and joy, make a gesture that represents that feeling. Let's make, again, you can do your own, or you can follow me. I might begin with something joyful. I might make it bigger. I might make it even bigger. Maybe the gesture wants to sparkle, joy, or maybe like a star, or even like the trees in the Isaiah passage. We could clap from joy or with joy. Joy, gratitude is overflowing. It could be a feeling of a fountain within us coming up and out, coming up and out, and blessing all that we encounter. Now, come back to a gesture, a position of thanksgiving, whatever yours might be that you're comfortable with, something that you can hold. And I invite you to name those blessings silently that you are so thankful for. You may want to close your eyes. Blessings of gratitude. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So I'm going to take another deep breath. That was wonderful. As you finish your prayer, take out that third piece of paper, and guess what? We're going to write Thanksgiving in the corner. Then take 2 to 3 minutes again to draw images, doodles, words that came from your prayer of thanksgiving and movement, colors that might make you think of Thanksgiving. And if nothing comes to you, just draw squiggles of joy. Take about 30 more seconds. And as you finish, bring your awareness back to the group again.
So today we began our session with the palms down and the palms up. This movement actually comes from the Shaker religion, an offshoot of the Quakers. They were called Shakers because of their shaking gestures during their worship. You might be familiar with one of their songs, Simple Gifts. We are very fortunate to have Greg participating today. He's going to play this delightful song while we experience the Shaker movement. I want to end on this gesture because, one, it's fun, and prayer can be fun. It's also energetic, and prayer can be energetic. And so, Greg, if you're ready, I think if we do bum, 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 bum. So I want you to begin. Greg, are you going to play for us? I can't hear you.
He's muted. Unmute, Greg.
Yay! So let's do palms down. Shake, shake, shake. Thank you, Greg. Yes, I hope you all enjoyed that experience, that exploration. I certainly appreciate being able to offer it. So back to you, Cindy.
Oh, thank you, Lindsay. I'm so excited that you shared your movement gifts with us today. That was fun. And Greg, what a blessing to have you here to do the music. Wow. So I hope you all had as much fun as we did. I know that everything went fast. You may want to go back after we finish today and relook at what you drew, rethink your prayers, do more movement, and explore this a little deeper if that is something you think that would be beneficial. We will do some group sharing with the folks that are online after we finish doing the recording. But I just want to let you know that I hope you had fun with this, that we hope it's going to be meaningful to you in the future. And it's a real quick way to do prayers in a very fun kind of way and creative way. Our next Artful Prayer session's Thursday, December 9th at 2 p.m. Brenda's the one who is planning on leading it, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe not, we'll see. Brenda's recovering and we need to make sure she recovers full. So we'll see how that goes, but it will definitely be on Thursday, December 9th at 2. So watch for information in church announcements. So thank you all. I hope you all come back next month. And watch it online if you want to do it again. The online links and how to get to it will be on the church website as well. So Wes, if you could stop recording.